And we're back for round 2 of The Collector. This is the fan-created scenario available on BGG by a guy called Mike Hutchinson, who I don't know, but he seems to do some good scenarios. We've already done The Curse of Amuletep, and that was quite interesting, even though it didn't end well for Roland. Just a couple of things to clear up before we begin the round. First of all, I played Roland's 38 special, however I didn't actually add the resources to utilise that, so they're on there now. I've put a die there to indicate the life on the leather coat. Anything else? Yes, if you remember in the last video, for the sake of good order, I said I would exhaust the investigator when they had their turn, but I failed to turn them back. And you may notice I've set aside the map that I had before, which is good, and I think if I had it printed on A3 it would be okay, but for A4 size it's not big enough, so I've spread out, and I've also marked some arrows so we can see after my 2 excellent descriptions, but now you can see exactly how things join together. So we move now on to the second round. There's nothing else I've forgotten, I don't think. No, so we'll move on, and the first thing to do is place a doom on the agenda. One doom, and we draw a card for each of the investigators. Let's clear some space here so we can see who is going to get what. So first one will go Wendy. Wendy gets the goat spawn. Humanoid monster, hunter, retaliate, forced. When goat spawn is defeated, each investigator at this location takes 1 horror. So it's got a fight of 3, hit points of 3, and agility of 3. The creature was at once terrible and graceful, the result of blasphemous traffics with some otherworldly horror. Oof, got a big knife there as well. So Wendy drew this one, so this will go immediately into her threat area, which we'll put here. Actually, we won't. We'll just have a little move around. We'll go back to where we were. Right there. So threat area is going to be there. Cards are going to be here. Okay, move Roland around. Okay, and then we draw one for Roland. Oh, okay. Attached to your location, leave 1 per location. Attack location gets +2 shroud. After attached location is successfully investigated, discard obscuring fog. Well, we could have done without that, to be fair, because now that gives us a shroud value of 4, which is 1 above what either of us can do. Okay, so that's the end of the mythos phase, and we move on to the investigator phase. Now, I did have a plan. That plan has now somewhat gone down the pan. Plan down the pan. So I believe probably the best thing to do is for Wendy to evade. He needs to evade this goat spawn first thing, and then get out of there. Let's move to somewhere else, I think. So her evade is, her agility is 4. The goat spawn is 2. So do we need to make that better? We could do manual dexterity, maximum committed to 1 skill test if this is successful draw. I don't think we need to do that. I think we'll just go for it. So 4, famous last words, 4, 4, come on, 4, 4, and here we go. 4, and it's a +1. Okay, good. So we got a 5. So we actually did evade the goat spawn. So the goat spawn goes here. And we'll put it there, and that's exhausted. And that's Wendy's first action. Is there anything else you could have done there? Switchblade, survival instinct. Skill test, successful. If a skill test is successful. Ah, okay. We could play this skill. If a skill test is successful during an evasion attempt, if this skill test may immediately disengage from Right, I'm going to retroactively play this because I've forgotten. So I'm going to retroactively play this. I know it's cheating, but hey, I'm playing solo, so sue me. So I'm going to play that. So we actually got a 6, and we can immediately move to another location, and we're going to move to here. It doesn't cost us any action. Okay. So we've done that. So Wendy's moved to there. Now that's 1 action to evade and the 3 action to move to there, and we're into the Hall of Prehistory. A huge stuffed replica of a woolly mammoth towers over a collection of bizarrely carved prehistoric ritual stones and a diorama of an early shaman. Okay, I must say the artwork on this game is truly excellent. It really gets you into the theme and the atmosphere of what you're doing. So let's spin this over. And it's got a shroud value of 2. There are 2 clues on there. It's the same text, so we don't need to bother with that. So there. So it goes there. 2 clues, 1 per investigator. Put you so we can see where you are. Let's see where you are. Okay. So Wendy's have 1 action. So a second action will be to scavenge. To investigate. So we've got 3. We've got nothing to make that any better. So we'll just go with that. So 3, we need 2. And we've got a 0. Okay, excellent. So second action, we take a clue, we put it on Wendy's character card, character sheet. Yeah, I got these character sheets, by the way, from BGG file section, as I get everything. Because it's, I can't remember who did these, but thanks for them. The map before was by a guy called Todd S, and it's in one of the comments on the file section. So, yeah, I try to thank everybody, or at least give them credit. So if I'm not passing these off as my own, so if I miss credit for anybody for anything, then please, they're not mine. I haven't done anything on this game. And of course, credit to Matt Leacock and Rob Daviel for providing the pandemic squares and cubes. So that was Wendy's second action. Now for the third action. So clearly we're going to have to investigate again. We'll hope for some luck. So we're 3. The shroud value is 2. Please don't be a... Oh, okay. Right, we've got the little hooded man. The hooded man for this. I am playing on... This says standard, but I am playing on easy. I'm just not good enough to play on standard setting. -1. If you fail, discard a card from your hand. Well, we didn't fail because we got that still gives us a 2, which is still good enough. So perfect. So we've got another clue. So we've got 3 clues there. We've got 1 clue on Roland's. That is Wendy's actions all done, I believe. First one was evade. 3 actions to move to the Hall of Prehistory, and 2 investigations. So perfect. So Wendy, you are finished at the moment. So next one, Roland. Well, that's already evaded the goat spawn, but it is a hunter, so it's going to come after us. But do we want to? Yes, we should, because we can. If we kill that, we can get a clue. So it's not going to, as I recall it, it's already exhausted. We can attack it when it's exhausted. We don't have to engage it. So we can attack it. Does the retaliate kick in when it's exhausted? That's a good point. I'm going to... Okay, a little bit unclear on that, but we'll see what happens. But maybe I have to play the Grimball and just assume it does. But that's something I'll check up for next time. So Roland will attack the goat spawn. Now he'll use his 38 special. The goat spawn has a fight of 3. We can spend 1 ammo. Come on, get the camera in the right place. We can spend 1 ammo to fight. We get a +1 for the attack. If there are 1 or more clues on your location, you get a +3. And this attack deals +1 damage. So we will utilise one of these for sure. So that gives us, we've got 4. And there are one or more clues on my location, or our location, so that gives us a 7 against a 3. So we're at a +4. So as long as we don't draw the dreaded... Oh, I wish I would have said that now. Wish I would have said that. Okay, well that is the little thingy, the little shieldy, well not shield, stone tablet thing. So that actually is a -3, but that's still good enough. That still gets us the hit. So that takes the goat spawn down to, let's just move it here for a second so we can see what we're dealing with. Takes a goat spawn down to 1 hit point. I think we can't afford not to risk it again. We've got to get this one. So we would use another one. That's the second action. And we've got 7 again. 7, 7, 7, 7. And it's a 0. So we did win. We did beat that. So there's nothing here. Okay, we will play this event. So this should cost us 1 resource. After you defeat an enemy, discover 1 clue at your location. So we will play that. We'll spend a resource. The goat spawn is gone. And the goat spawn is gone. What else is there? Goat spawn, resource. And we get a clue for defeating. And that's a second action. So we've got clues. So now we've got 1, 2, 3, we've got 5 clues. So we're looking pretty good at the moment. So we've done 2 actions there and 1 action left. There's no point doing the search action because remember there's a shroud there and that gives us a plus. That means it's a +2, so there's a 4, and we've got no cards that are going to assist us to do that at all. No. And Wendy's not with us. So our second action, I believe, shall we go? Why am I looking over there? Shall we move to? We can move to a Hall of Antiquity, and that's probably good because then Wendy can come and back this way and meet us. That's the only way Wendy can go. So we can go from there to our last action will be the Hall of Antiquity. I believe that is it. You know the odd thing about his phone, I'm just going to mention it, is that the camera is in the top left-hand corner. So I tend to focus the camera as if the lens is in the middle of the phone, which is why you're always seeing off to the left. So I just thought I'd mention that. I don't know why, I just want a thing to do. Hall of Antiquity. Hall of Antiquity. What is that? Some sort of Cthulhu face by the look of it. Lurid inscriptions on, I think that should be papyrus, and colossal painted vases if you're American, weave images of a time when the edges of the world were yet to be described. There we go. So it's got a shroud value of 3 and there are 2 clues on there. Let's put that there. And we've got 2 clues on there. And that is the end of... Oh, you know what I've forgotten? Do you know what I've forgotten? It's not going to make much difference because we'll do it next time, I think. But after you defeat Roland, after you defeat an enemy, discover 1 clue at your location. Well, we defeated an enemy. I know we got the 1 clue because we used the evidence, but we get the other one as well. I've forgotten about that. So we get that clue. We've actually got 6 clues. So I think that's Roland's turn finished. So he's finished, and we've actually got 6 clues. So shall we advance? That's the question. Shall we advance? Is it something that's going to be bad if we advance it from our side? No, because it's not, is it? So we should advance as quick as... Right, I'm going to advance. So that's the end of the investigator turn. We're both finished, and I'm going to advance now to 1. If it focuses, come on. Focus, right, I'm going to advance to the second side. Okay, let's try and get rid of the glare. Act 1B. Piecing together the scattered records, ancient and modern, anthropological and medical, I found a fairly consistent mixture of myth and hallucination whose scope and wildness left me utterly dazed. Only one thing consoled me, the fact that the myths were of such early existence when lost knowledge could have brought pictures. What lost knowledge could have brought pictures of the Paleozoic and Mesozoic landscape into these primitive fables? I could not even guess, but the pictures had been there. And that's from The Shadow Out of Time, which I actually read again last week. Spawned Peter Warren in the curator's office. Okay, so let's put that to the side. Let's grab Peter Warren from set aside cards. There he is. Curator's office is here. So let's put him there. So he's a cultist. Ignore the spawn because we're playing this scenario. And we can spend 2 clues to parley, and we can add Peter Warren to the victor display. So we don't know what his reason for raison d'etre is at the moment, but we'll put him in the curator's office. We will just quickly get rid of these clues because let's face it, I will forget. This video is turning out to be longer than I anticipated, I'll be fair. Let's get rid of those clues. And we go to Act 2A. At a time. Back to the future. A voice echoes in your mind. It is asking you questions, so many questions, a library's worth of questions, a lifetime's worth of questions. The air around you begins to shimmer, impossibly tall sandstone columns are faintly visible as the present begins to waver. And if you've read Shadow Out of Time, then you'll understand what this is all about. Discard a card. Oh, I can use an action now while this card is in play. Discard a card to gain a clue token from the pool. May only be used once per turn. Okay, and there was 20 clues to advance the act. Okay, let's put that there. Let's put that there. And have I forgotten anything? We've got 1 doom on the agenda. We've already flipped the act is already flipped. Come on, focus. The act is already flipped. And that is the end of our turn. So it's now to enemy phase. Okay, well this guy doesn't do anything. He is an enemy, I guess. So we'll just have to go and find him. That comes back to now the cleanup phase. So we'll spin these guys around. And we will draw 1 card for Wendy, which is Leo DeLuca. Come on, focus, focus, focus. Focus, focus, focus. Yeah, I'm struggling with the focus on this, I don't know why. Come on. Leo DeLuca. Yeah, sorry about this. It just doesn't seem to want to focus. So it's an ally. It costs 6 to play. And you may take an additional action during your turn. Okay, that's cool. So we'll play that into there. We'll grab an extra resource, which we do, and then we get a dodge, which is a fast play when an enemy attacks in an investigator at your location, cancel that attack. So we start from there for Roland, and we take another resource. So that's where we stand at the end of the cleanup phase. That is it, I believe. So next time we move on to round 3. We've already advanced the act by 1, so we're in good shape. Looks like we just need to get a absolute shed load of clues. So okay, well, like and subscribe if you like what this I'm doing, and by all means leave me some feedback, because I know I make mistakes. I don't profess to be the most professional gamer in the world, as you can clearly see from the quality of my videos. However, I do appreciate any likes, any new subscribers, and any comments, good or bad. So thanks a lot. Bye for now.